It's officially 3:33 p.m. and we are off the clock. Welcome back to The Girls That Get It, where we navigate entrepreneurship through the quadrant fit theory. I'm Shakila, and I go by Kai.
I'm DJ Junius.
And I'm Ashby Hunt, but the girls call me Ash.
And we are back for episode 31. Ooh, put a 1 on that thing.
What's up?
Hey.
What's up? And that was the dance.
Yeah.
We hit them all and ball out.
Hey.
We Atlanta right now.
Right. So Atlanta. Mm-hmm. No T.
No T.
Yeah. So we're back for episode 31, and we're super excited to be back because we're getting closer and closer to, I don't know what we're getting closer to, but we're getting closer.
Closer.
The weeks are going by.
That's what I just was thinking. Oh, my God.
And our topic today is comparison, the thief of joy. But before we get into our topic, let's get into our wins and our side eyes for the week. What's your win for the week?
I'm just happy we made it to September, bro.
That part.
Ooh, I know, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, this summer been summering.
It has.
It's been a blistering hell.
So I know a couple of episodes ago, we talked about one of our collective side eyes was not traveling. No travels.
Yes.
So my win is we booked an anniversary trip.
Okay.
We're going to the Bahamas for the anniversary.
Yes.
Woo, and I can't wait.
I can't wait for you.
Can't wait.
That is a win for
That
all
is
of
a
us.
win.
I actually feel my skin sizzling from
Right.
you just telling me that you were going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm excited for you. Y'all deserve it.
Yeah.
7 years?
You deserve
7 years married, right?
Yeah.
You
7 years
deserve
married.
it.
That is one of my favorite
Is
future
it?
songs ever. Swear. What's your win for the week, baby girl?
My win for the week is getting back in groove with working and eating. I told you offline that I was indulging in all the things.
Yeah.
Like overindulging in Starbucks, and I just needed to like get back together. But so I am back on track, and I'm very excited about that.
When we were talking about that, the funny thing is she said, I said, what were you doing? You just too much food or too much sweet? She's like, not really sweets or food, but Starbucks. I'm like, sweet.
The ultimate sweet girl.
It's a whole sweet. It's a whole dessert.
Yeah.
It's the whole dessert.
Everything
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dessert.
And then it's just crazy because it's like not finishing it.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
So it's like you are just mental. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're mentally just grabbing this because like, you know,
Routine.
it's routine, but it's like I can't even get it all the way down. So it's like it's not only are you overindulging in the sweets,
don't
but you're
really
wasting
want
the
it.
money.
You're not even, exactly.
You're
all
wasting
of
the
that.
money. Yeah. Because I'm getting it for
Because it's $7 a pop. Baby.
yeah, I'm getting it on the way into work. And then it's like, oh, lunchtime, I think I want a refresher.
God.
Tell you,
It's just
overindulging.
boredom and just,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's right there. They
Literally
win.
drinking the calories.
it's like walking through the mall. It's like, I gotta buy the smoothie. Gotta buy it.
yeah,
just
yeah.
different things.
Or Cinnabon.
Or Auntie Annie's.
They was closed today.
Auntie Annie's.
Both of them was closed today.
They was closed?
Because they would have got me, okay? I was in there as soon as they opened, so they just hadn't opened up yet. But almost.
Good.
That was good.
Shoot.
good.
Yeah. What's your side eye for the week, though?
So my side eye, I have to piggyback on my win. These prices.
These prices ain't
Prices
Hey.
pricing.
They are pricing. It's like, I know we keep talking about it, and you know, with inflation and everything since 2020, but it's like, when are we gonna get acclimated? Like, this
It's
is
like
just what it
send
is.
help.
Just or like, when are we just gonna decide this is just what it is?
I hate it
don't
so
want
much.
to, though.
And then I get
take
annoyed.
it.
I get annoyed when I get on a flight because they've like upped the prices so much, and then every flight I'm on is packed. So what incentive do they have?
Yeah.
to, like,
Exactly.
I feel like
pull it
this
back
side
down?
eye is all of our side eyes. It's the world side eye. It's the group side eye. It's everything side eye. I feel like when I go grocery shopping, I might as well just go eat out.
That part.
Because, you know, you used to save money when you grocery shop. Now you don't.
My basic
don't.
taco run for the ingredients.
Oh.
$95.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lettuce. It's
Yeah.
a tomato.
You know what?
It's a avocado.
You're right.
Yeah.
And
Because
meat and
Target
the
used to be a strong 100 every trip, but now it's the
It's
grocery
two.
store. Yeah.
It's solid too something.
It's
Yeah.
Publix.
Yeah. Shay, who does my ponytail, she said the same thing. She said she went to get Taco for Taco Tuesday last week, and she spent $122 just
Yeah.
for one meal.
Yeah, I think I spent $140. We did tacos last Monday.
How?
I think I spent about $140.
How did this box of shells
Yeah.
start from here and get to here? But
Yeah, when I can go out to eat for tacos and stuff, and
have two
spend-
margaritas.
and spend $80.
One margarita.
One margarita, I'm gonna put it in. 2 margaritas, I'm gonna put it in my tush.
First of all, I just realized that was the TikTok creator.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was her.
Yeah.
Definitely her.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I love that
Going
for
off
her.
at the table.
Sorry, I got in trouble. I got a whipping.
Okay. So
All right, you guys.
So pretty much FD's prices. Go ahead.
Basically,
So that was
yeah.
our side eye.
All the way around, from everything down from goddamn tissue
all of
to
it.
gas to plane
Groceries.
tickets to groceries.
To flights, to resorts, to all of it.
all
You know,
of
the
it.
thing is, I need to raise some prices on a service or two. And I'm just hesitant because I just don't want to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah,
But it's like-
wow, but why? But
I got to. I don't have a choice.
how we
so
gonna be able to afford
hard.
life?
Right.
That's so hard.
Oh.
It's kind of like you don't want to do it to your clients, but at the same time,
But
you don't
I'm
want to. You don't
experiencing
want
it
to. Yeah,
myself.
you don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a side eye. So
What?
we got 2 side eyes.
Okay.
Okay.
Did your new mortgage went in effect?
Oh yeah,
August,
I told
right?
you. Yeah, yeah.
That is the fucking side eye.
Yeah, no, mine's went before yours.
Oh, okay, mine started August.
It's been a couple. It's been
Last
like
month.
3 months.
Whoa.
Yeah, a whole $100 and something more.
Have it back. Take it back.
Take it back.
Just shut up. The both
Get
of
somebody
y'all.
else to do it.
Signed a renter. Okay.
Signed a leasing.
right.
Shut the hell up.
Right. That part.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
the price is
I'm
pricey.
sure your apartment is more than my mortgage.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
For sure. It's just a change. It's
Yeah.
like
It's really
It's the way of the
crazy.
world.
it fluctuates. A couple dollars here and there every year,
Yeah.
but
Not
this was more
significantly
significant.
than-
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
No,
then I
totally get
saw a post, news, whatever. They were saying that some apartment complexes are holding apartments on purpose, like keeping them empty on purpose.
Yeah, so they could get like they are trifling.
Yeah.
You should see some of these buildings with
Just to
this
be able to
rent,
raise the
and
prices.
then they don't even run a water pressure power through the hallway
At all.
They got valet trash, and it's trash juice in the hallway.
The valet ain't valeting.
Wrong.
That's so freaking weird.
Yeah.
Where is the power washer to just splatter some water
Yeah.
through this shit?
Yeah.
They take care of them the lower level, and
Yeah,
that's it.
for the grooming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can
So it
sign.
looked like
Yeah.
something.
So
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
sign,
Yeah.
and you won't see the trash juice.
Yeah.
That's on the regular side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right, you guys ready to get started?
Sure.
Let's get into
It
it.
is officially 3:33 p.m. and we are off the clock.
Yeah.
It's always
She
that
went
third
for
one.
it. She went. She goes. Okay.
Take a sip. All right, you guys. Again, the title is Comparison
It's a thief of joy.
is the thief of joy. Absolutely.
Man, it'll thief you out too.
What?
It'll rob you.
It'll rob you. That's the word. I used 3 words. to
Yeah,
say
you
that.
did. Yeah.
I actually really like that though. It'll thief you
It'll
out.
thief you out. That's a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a t-shirt.
Stay out of people's comparisons.
Yes. All right. So let's just deep dive into comparison in general. How people compare themselves in the world that we're in right now.
Oh my goodness.
It just makes it a lot more easier for you to compare yourself because we are looking on social. We blame everything on social, but it's the reality of it, right?
Of it all.
Yeah.
Yes. So it has made it much worse for people. And I really feel like when you talk about self-confidence,
The way to first start jabbing at your
Snatch your
snatch your soul, baby.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looking at what I love to say as carefully curated content.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not looking at the real world and the reality
The 3
of a lot of
Cs.
situations, but
Yes.
it's carefully curated to make you feel all the feels that you feel.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't take it so personally. People
Yeah.
work hours and hours on that specific post so that it could relay that message or give you those feels.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that you can buy into whatever it is that they're selling.
Yes.
And sometimes it's not even that they're physically selling something,
Yeah.
but they're selling their image.
Yeah, they're selling an image and a narrative.
The likeness, all that kind of good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We used to only be like compared to or have our peers, our direct peers,
Or
your classmates.
Think about how they used to talk to us
us
in school about, you young kids don't look at the magazines, the fashion magazines,
right.
compared to
Yeah.
It was
that
the
was the
fashion
extent.
magazine.
Yeah, it was the fashion magazines. Yes, it was the extent of that.
Don't compare yourself to the model.
what you see on TV.
Yes.
But
That was the biggest thing that parents and the society had to worry about was that part, you know.
What was on TV.
Yeah, and then kids were, I remember the big thing in high school was like kids who had like, or women who had eating disorders.
Yeah.
Because they were so focused on
trying
the
to compare
magazines.
themselves to the models.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
the movie stars.
Now I feel like it's not so much like, you know, cause skinny, not being skinny or that kind of look. I think it's more so now like the financial comparison and successful comparison.
Or what you
but even to the
perceive
body type. I mean, there's a
the
new
body
body
type.
type. There's a new aesthetic.
Yeah, but people are eating more and not eating less.
No offense. No offense.
I mean, you can see the times.
The
Times have changed.
No,
but
seriously,
yeah.
this is a food. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying. You
No,
know,
seriously,
there are so many like weight gain pills and stuff like that on the market. You know, that type thing. You know, body shapes, body whatever. What is it? Plastic surgery is a thing now. You know, just that whole scenario. So
yeah, and people not necessarily tapping into those things for their own joy or their own, you know, trying to achieve their own aesthetic or their own ideal, but more like the next person or the person that they admire. Not even sometimes picking things that are complementary to their aesthetic,
Yes.
their features or whatever. Just doing something that is
because
on
everybody
trend.
else is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like
kinda,
the fillers, Botox, and that thing, whatever. Like it's a trendy thing, but it may not go with your aesthetic. You know.
yeah, it may not suit you, and you might just be comparing yourself, or just like purchasing things or tapping into certain things and putting yourself in binds based off of your favorite content creators, or just comparing yourself to the next person.
Yeah.
The illusion of perfection, right?
Yes, that's more of what it is.
That too, and I think whatever the culture says is the cool thing to do. I think some of it is natural human behavior to want to aspire, to aspire to have that
Yeah,
or
exactly.
to be that.
Yeah.
So,
But I just never felt, okay, so yes, there are certain things that I like and certain things that I aspire to, right? But I also have always had this realization that I'm not that person.
yeah, you got your own mind.
Yeah.
So my life may not necessarily be set up that way. I'm not a world touring celebrity, so I may not have the things that a world touring celebrity
For sure.
will have. But some people's minds, like, I'm not saying you should limit your beliefs
but they-
on what you have.
yeah.
They don't
but
have a
just
realistic-
realistic perspective on the haves and the gives.
Yes.
And
Yes.
It just gets a little funky sometimes. Like, I'm like, what are you doing?
Again, like I said, though, it's illusion of perfection, and so they get these ideas in their head, and they're like chasing after what would be perfect, and there is no such thing as perfect, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, even what is being presented as perfect, like you said, is carefully curated.
Yeah.
But even the people that we aspire to either look like or dress like, even that is heavily like filtered.
Yeah.
Even that doesn't look like
Yeah.
in person.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then they got teams
Right.
curating
Yeah.
these looks.
Yeah.
Like, this is not what they woke up. sometimes.
And to the point about not having what like the celebrities, the world touring celebrities have.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff is
given to them.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's given to them. It's
Yeah.
not even expense out
Right.
of their pocket, but you
It's a,
see the tag.
Yes.
And you
want it.
want it.
Yeah. I can remember growing up and me comparing myself to, having an older sister and her being 6 years older than me, and comparing like, I'm supposed to have this, this, and this, and this because she has this, this, and this.
Right.
Or I'm supposed to do this, this, and this because she does this, and this. And my mom, she literally cut that out real quick. Like, you are you.
Yeah.
She is her.
Yeah.
And y'all live your lives.
And y'all live your lives. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So even now, like, me and my sister's relationship is kind of more so like, if you see something, you'd be like clothing or something like that. Like, oh, this would be cute on you.
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is more for you. Oh, da-da-da. You like this? This is for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I got this for you because I thought it would be cute on you. That type thing. Or it's like, I remember when my sister started letting me go to the club with her. When I was her friend now. And
That's cute.
I remember somebody I can't remember exactly what it was, but I just remember her saying in my head, like, no, my sister don't do that.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm going to do that. But my sister ain't gonna do that.
Yeah. Right.
Or
yeah.
it was like, oh, she not going to the after party, but I'm going to the after
Right.
party.
Yeah.
And it was kind of just like her letting them know that she is her and I am me. And just because I'm allowing her to kick it with us doesn't mean that this is what she's going to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love that. And I try to exercise that with my younger sister.
Yeah.
Because coming up, she's going through a lot of the programs and she went through, I'll say, a lot of the programs and the things that I participated in coming up in school and, you know, just the rite of passage, the debutante and all of that.
Yeah.
And so we did that. And I know that she did that and her, you know, it was my parents' plan for her to follow in that step. But as far as becoming a young adult, I'm like, you know, she'll find her way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She could be motivated. She could be motivated. She don't have to do all the things that I did. Yeah.
Absolutely. And
let
I'm
her
like,
be her.
Let her be her. Let her figure this thing out.
Yeah.
She's still very young. She does not create debt. So let her
That's the biggest thing.
Yes. As long as you are not harming people and creating debt, I feel like the world is your oyster. And you can take your time and figure things out and land where you need to be.
It can be so detrimental to you when you do that. You know what I mean? Like detrimental to your mental as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm saying this out loud here, but I don't even think I've ever talked to her about like what that may feel like. But I get it. I always stick up for her when conversations come about.
That's good.
I just do it naturally because I'm like, who knows? Like as a young teen or as a young woman was because of the associations that my mom had now within this marriage. And I wanted to make her look good.
For sure.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wasn't even doing it.
There were
for
like
my
outside influences.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
So it's like to imagine her following in that footstep when it wasn't even
Exactly.
something
it wasn't even authentic.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
That's so deep.
Yeah. So I'm like,
How many people are doing that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is what when I think about her journey, I'm like, you know, it needs to be her own because that wasn't necessarily mine. It was what I took a lot of pride in making my mom look good in certain situations. So it was just that.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's always good to have sisterships. No, sisterships are really like, you know, when it's good, it's good.
It's good.
Especially when you have an older sister who can kind of like lead you and not necessarily like lead you, like you said, not to do what I do, but just lead you. Yeah.
Live your life.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure, my sister pushed me to do that, to be comfortable with like my independency and knowing who I am and just being my own person.
Yeah.
And she always says, even though I'm her little sister, I like taught her about being stable and focusing on goals and accomplishing things, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's good to be able to have that bounce, you know, when you get older.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Giving that perspective.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just knowing. It's like a built-in best friend. It's like you just know no matter what.
Yeah.
You got that person.
Yeah.
It's so sweet. That's so sweet because I know that you got 8 years with your sister, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many years?
6.
So I am 16
Right.
of my sister. So it's like a lot of sometimes what I want to give, I'm like, I don't want to come off auntie.
Yeah.
You're conscious of that.
Yeah. I'm always kind of just trying to remain cool and always listening and not, you know, now we vibe a little bit more because you
get older.
She's turning 20, but I felt like initially I was giving auntie vibes more, and especially how she was moving, not necessarily being secretive around me, but keeping things from me. And I was like, I wonder if I give her auntie vibes, you know, and not cool sister vibes. But because she is getting older and I can kind of talk to her, and I always talk to my stepmom, who I love to death, but she was always vying for this like relationship with my sister.
Based off of what she wanted it to look like.
Based off of what she wanted to look like. And I'm like, Tony, you got to kind of recognize I'm closer to you in age. You sure are. So it just kind of got to happen. And my daddy was always like, she'll catch up. Like, you'll be
for
fine.
sure.
Yeah.
And she has. So now it's kind of like a little cute little vibe we have.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
So the cost of comparison can put you in debt. It can put you in debt, honey.
It really can.
Yeah.
And quicker than you probably can realize. It will sneak up on you very quickly.
Yeah. Just the stronghold that it will have on you, and how I feel like it sometimes it can paralyze you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So when I think about comparison too, I know we're thinking about it in a way that is kind of close to our vest, like with family and stuff like that. But I also think about it in also in businesses, right? Mm-hmm. It's like we find a lot of people who aspire to be entrepreneurs, or even not even entrepreneurs, to be certain people within their businesses or the companies that they work for. But it's kind of an age-old saying, but don't compare your day one to somebody's year 5.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? You're seeing the fruit of the labor of 5 years of work being shown and being kind of like, shown and displayed to you, but you cannot expect your day 1, your day 30 to look like somebody's years of establishment and hard work.
And failures.
And determination. And failures.
Yes.
And failures.
Because they have hit their head.
You might have found that. You might be new to this industry and seeking the people and the mentors and all of that stuff that might, influence you and keep you focused on your goals, but you're seeing the manifestation of their failures, of their years of hard work, of their years of success. You know what I mean?
Like, so everybody's investment is different. And when I talk about investment, I'm not just talking about monetary.
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Time. That's why it always was funny to me, like when I would be training, and the trainee would always be surprised at how challenging it is. And it's like, what do you think? You thought you were going to do what I do?
Yeah,
it's like, and then give up on that second or third day. It's like, no. This is time.
This is years.
I make it look easy because I put in the time.
Yeah,
the
sacrifices.
Yes. So it's like the doctors that show up to serve their patients every day. They're practicing medicine.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And with each client or patient that they service, they are more and more familiar with.
For sure.
Like we are more familiar with different eyelash
the process,
types,
the drug,
every single thing.
Yeah, the reaction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just very interesting that, like you said, people will come through that training and think you're just literally here playing around.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't
also
take
too, like,
brain strength and concentration and focus and all these things that
and
have
years
made
of experience.
Great.
Yeah. I was thinking when you said doctors, you know how like sometimes they'll rate somebody's bedside manner, or you'll say, oh, their bedside manner is da-da-da. I feel like that is kind of like a natural thing, but at the same time too, that's about experience as well. Yeah. Just the small things that we don't really think about. Like that was probably over time. Like maybe I shouldn't say these things because it made somebody feels this way, whatever. But
they practice
just those
medicine.
tiny things that we don't think about that somebody is really good at, that it's not a natural thing.
It's work.
It's work.
And it's made to make you feel like it's natural.
Yeah.
But it's all work.
Yeah.
And it's all practicing and it's all experience.
Yeah.
So again, if you're coming through something with no experience, how can you compare yourself and allow yourself to get down because on day 30 you're not as sharp as somebody who's been doing this thing for years and years.
But overall, it just distracts you from the overall goal and your achievement. Yeah. Because you're so focused on the
what
comparison.
They got going on.
Yeah, that you're not even focused on what you should be doing.
Absolutely.
Look at your own plate before you're looking at somebody else's plate.
And they just getting distance on you. They're just making laughs on you as you watch them. Right. They just laughing.
They just laughing.
Like you further.
That
further behind than you would have been.
And also, too, what we always say, I think you just mentioned it a little bit, like, so not only this is my day, this may be my year 5 or my year 10, and this is your day 1 or your day 30, right? But also, a lot of times in training or when speaking to people about the industry that I'm in and what they want, I also tell people all the time, it's like you can't compare my start to your start, right? I'll be talking to a woman who is married, who has children, and people depending on her. So guess what? You're comparing your journey in, let's just say, the lash industry to mine. I was a single woman, no dependents, nobody waiting on me to come home from work, nobody to say, hey, you need to stop working. You get what I'm saying? So I was able to grow in a way quicker and way faster than you being a wife and a mom, and you have to be home. And so you can't compare. My success looks different. My time frame may be different because I don't have the things that you have or the people that you have dependent on you. So you got to be steadfast in your own journey and what that looks.
It's completely unique.
What success looks like to you.
For sure.
And it is completely unique. And you got to be aware of that before you start like looking at other people's things and, taking their journey and their process and their progress for granted.
Yeah.
Because it looks great.
It looks different for everyone. Have you had an experience where you felt that you were comparing yourself to someone?
Yes.
Okay.
I already mentioned mine, but
yeah. I will say,
what was it?
My sister.
Okay, yeah.
I don't feel like it lasted very long. It was more like a reality check.
Yeah.
Just our mentor, Maven, Trina, and just say learning volume lashes, because I felt like such a pro, and so established as a professional classic eyelash artist. When I could not get the volume on day one, that might have like blew my ego a bit.
Yeah.
But not to the point where it was going to knock me out of the game. Now, what I will say is it may have been a hindrance a little bit in the beginning. I don't know if it's a hindrance or a sharpening tool to compare your work to her
some of that
portfolio work.
Like, you using that as motivation, I guess.
Yeah, I was using it as motivation, but it was still like a little bit tricky because that is her portfolio work. Yeah. Why am I trying to achieve this on every single set?
For sure.
Yeah. So that threw me off, and I may have wasted a little time in that area. But also, too, I take it as a motivation. I never saw myself as her, or I never tried to compare my journey to hers. But there was a prototype on the eyelash set that I wanted to put out, so I was going for it.
For sure.
Did it steal my joy, though?
It may not have. That might have just been motivation for you.
That's what I'm
saying. Might not have been.
I don't know if it was a thief
It might not have been. Yeah, it might have been positive because there's a way to read, for that to be positive.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if it was a thief of my joy or cause of aggravation. I don't
maybe
know.
just a little point.
Yeah, I know. For me, the most recent thing that it's not even recent, but the thing that comes to mind is, and this kind of goes back to making sure that this is what these are your dreams, making sure that this is true to you. You know, of course, when we were getting out of high school, it's like you got to go to college. You got to go to college. You got to go to college. I was like always told to me as a kid, and that was something my parents really wanted for me. And so I tried it multiple times, multiple times, and was miserable every single time I tried it.
Okay,
and it's like when you finally step out and just do the thing that your heart naturally draws you to, which has always been in beauty and in service. That is where, you'll flourish. So I did, back to the point of like college, my best friends, my best friends were all graduating from college. People around me were graduating from college. And it was a thing for me for a while. Like,
for real?
Yeah, of course. Even I was making great money. Yeah. And even when I was working corporate, I made great money. I was independent, at that age, it would be considered successful at that time, but not having that degree, I was comparing myself to others.
That makes sense.
And so that kind of, until I realized, like, wait a minute, this is your path. This is your journey. It makes your journey no less great. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that was a time that I experienced that.
Yeah.
Can I piggyback off of that? Just hanging out with my best friends in August.
Yeah.
Like, sweetest girl ever. But whenever I'm around her, I have a hard time expressing to her that her life may not be ideal for me. Anisha always asks me about like kids and the marriage and all of that. She's like, when is the deadline for you? Like,
that's what society tells us.
Yes, exactly.
And it's so sweet. And
but I can be a fine-ass auntie with no kids and lots of money.
It's a choice.
But in her mind, I think that is not success. So I'm so glad I'm so like strong in the sense of like
who you are and what you want.
Yeah, and my journey might look different.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because she be like, what age is the age where you'll decide that this is not, or kids are not a thing, or like
that's what society tells us, though.
Yeah, it's so funny that
and she lives a very traditional life.
Me for 17 years,
right?
And she still literally asks me that. Like, I love when I tell you, so proud of her. I love where she and her husband have built,
for sure,
literally. But I don't think I can break it through her brain that I can be around her and celebrate her without wanting that exactly what she has or the way she has it.
For sure.
It's so interesting, but I'm so glad that I'm not thrown off. Because it could throw you off.
It could throw you off.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because she just is so
I'm sure there are so many of our listeners that deal with that, especially with the children and the husband thing.
Yeah. She be like,
I mean, we get asked that all the time. Like, oh, you guys are raising these other kids. Why don't you guys have your own? Like, you don't feel like you just want your own. It's like,
maybe not.
Maybe not.
Yeah. I mean, I'm asked that all the time.
It's almost like, why you want me to join your misery? I'm sorry.
That was funny. No, I was saying that should have been my side eye.
What? Yeah, that's a good one.
Asking. Yeah, grown people. Ooh, yeah, it would have been perfect this week. Yes. Look at that week.
I don't know where that's coming from, but yes.
You know, you just forgot.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so part of the comparison and, you know, it being the thief of joy is like a journey of self-acceptance, right?
Right.
So knowing that, like you said, you are so comfortable in what is for you, your journey is maybe different, and you have accepted what it is that you want for yourself, right? Yeah. So if you are steadfast on that and you understand that this is what you want for yourself, you won't feel like you need to compare your life to other people. Yeah. You could be, like you said,
really happy for you.
Really happy for you.
Yeah. But not at home like, oh my God.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of that just comes with maturity too.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. Because I would say it probably was like 25 and under where I had those feelings of like, you know.
Oh, man, I thought people who weren't 28 and married, they had literal mental problems. How could
society really screws us over?
Yes. Because they give you the whole thing. You graduate high school, you go to college, you meet a man in
it's
college.
The plan. To get in debt.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. Keep her in debt.
And so that is in this box. Yes, for sure. Yes.
Get her tied down to all this stuff so that she has to keep the corporate job. Exactly. She can't take the leap.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because she got all these responsibilities.
She can't move to Costa Rica and live off the land.
Right.
Yeah. Because she got all these things.
It's kind of like undermining your own qualities, right? Sure. As a person and what you bring to the table. And again, just kind of like, it's really just trying to peel away at your own happiness because you're just working to satisfy.
Pay the bills. Mm-hmm. Literally pay for this life.
And satisfy what other people think that you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That I don't know why, but that reminded me of the thing where, there are certain industries where it's like, you've got to drive this car.
Yes.
If you want, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't even want to do this. Yeah. I got to keep this job because I got to keep this, you know what I mean?
I got to keep up this.
I got to pay this note.
Right. I remember there was a friend of mine who used to work with me. Well, we were work friends, and then we became friends. And the industry that we're in, you need to dress nice, be cute every day, kind of, whatever you need to sell. You got to, whatever.
Sell yourself.
Yeah, and so she stopped working for the company, and she went to something that was way more casual, way more chill. It was kind of like warehouse or whatever. And I was so shocked that she wanted to do that. And so she was like, I'm just excited that I don't have to get dressed up every day.
Listen.
And I was like, really?
Listen, I had that experience when I went to 10th grade. I went to 10th grade and I went to like a primarily white school. Was PWI?
Public white
I
school.
went to a primarily white school.
Yeah.
In 10th grade. And the difference in how they dressed and how I was used to dressing.
Having to show up at school.
Man. Okay, them fits was fitting. You hear me?
Okay.
Every day. Stilettos. Bumps.
Yeah.
At school.
Literally.
And so how casual they were, it was such a relief. To be able to, I don't have
to really think about.
Yes. And I guess that's a time when comparison or I guess whatever the societal norm is can be beneficial because it was like the focus there was on the education.
Yes.
Like even the bad kids, the lame kids, the work was important. The coolest kids, the work was important.
That was number one.
Culturally, that just was something, different. So it's like, it just was such a relief to be able to just exhale and not have to do the dressing.
Yeah. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree because I was... whatever side job or like a little job I had in high school, my mom would show up and I would be like handing her money like, can you go get my outfit for school?
Right.
Because it was a big deal for me.
No, it was a big deal up until
you switch schools. That makes sense. I went to a very mixed high school, but it was enough of us for me to show up.
Yeah.
Like I had to still.
It was a look.
It was definitely something I was trying to give, child. Don't know. But it was. Don't know what it was, but it was.
But it was giving.
Girl, who knows?
You said who knows?
Who knows? I went through 4 different phases each year of high school.
So I feel like everything we just said is kind of like unmasking unrealistic standards, right? Would you agree?
Absolutely. I think comparison perpetuates unrealistic standards and ideals.
And if you internalize those standards, it could lead to so much self-criticism
and dissatisfaction,
right? With self. So you just want to block all that shit out.
Yeah. And it's just so crazy because it's like you're going to be feeding yourself all this negativity, and it really has nothing to do with you. Just
and it's going to bring about more negativity because what you focus
it just
on,
compounds.
Low vibration.
What you focus on,
instead
of, and it's going to seem cheesy, corny, instead of like seeing your mentor, somebody that you admire, maybe online or in the industry that you're in, instead of seeing them and like congratulating them, and instead of seeing it from a negative comparison, like I don't have this, just basically congratulating them and congratulating that, so you can welcome that good energy
and back your life.
Yes, like if you look at it from a negative perspective, almost like that whole thing of like, oh my God, I got to pay these bills, but more so like, oh my God, I get to pay my bills.
Yes.
I have it to pay my bills so I can attract more.
But you know what that is? It's just embracing authenticity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Realistic authenticity.
And uniqueness, right?
Yes, absolutely. Your own uniqueness.
Yeah.
Right?
When you think about the people that we even admire on social, a lot of the times it is the people that are authentic and showing up themselves.
Yes.
Otherwise, everyone is just a carbon copy.
Right.
So it's like you stand out by embracing your uniqueness.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what we talk about all the time. Like if we're comparing social media platforms, like TikTok is more authentic than than Instagram is, you know?
Curated.
Yeah, exactly. Instagram is
That's
more
how
curated.
you stand out, by being unique over there.
Yeah,
and that's what's
absolutely.
rewarded.
Yeah. I just feel like even with all of that, you just need to have like gratitude and contentment with like who you are and your successes and your wins, and
be okay with your journey.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So, and just get out of the comparison trap.
Yes. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap, and it will keep you stuck and paralyzed and not achieving, the things that you want, the life that you want, the goals that you want to achieve.
Yeah, even if we just go back to what we said in regards to when we were younger, it was like the magazines, right? And now it's social media, but back in the day, magazines were edited as well. Their bodies were edited, heavily edited as well. And now here we are on social media platforms. Those are edited as well.
And you're just exposed to so many more people.
Yes.
So many more people.
It's endless.
Yes,
right here.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
On your phone.
Yep.
And people play tricks on you, and it's just so crazy. One thing that was pretty sad, and Gabe, who's 11, he came running in the room. He was like, I forgot the little girl's name, but he was like, she died. She
I saw that.
Yeah, and then here it is the next day, she wasn't even dead.
Yeah, her page was hacked.
Yeah, so it was kind of like people are doing things for clickbait and for you to be interested in them. She hadn't been on social in about 4 years.
Yeah.
But she was pretty popular for flaunting her money and talking about how rich she is and all that kind of stuff, whatever. And then here we are, people get into
they're traumatized.
Mental spirals. You know what I mean? So and it's just crazy. It's like if I wanted her to make a comeback on social, because you outdid the whole like I'm rich, I'm this, I'm that.
Right. And I think she got exposed for her accent not being authentic.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Yeah. So that was her first fall from grace.
And let's be honest, it was a child.
Oh yeah, she was being
9-10 years out. Yeah,
she was being coerced,
and
for
sure.
She
didn't make that
Maseratis and Bentleys and stuff.
Cute.
Instead of looking at comparison in a negative way, you can actually use it as healthy motivation to get where you want to be and do the things that you want to do with yourself.
Yeah. I think that's where I land with the comparison.
Yeah.
Because I am realistic that we are all unique individuals and our lives are supposed to look and feel and be different. But when I see something that I like and I aspire to or that I want to achieve, I use it as healthy motivation.
Yeah.
Let me follow some of the steps that she made. I know her journey may be different or his journey.
Your own aspirations.
Yes, but I'm using certain lessons within her journey to apply to mine.
Yeah.
And I think that is healthy. And I think it is healthy to have a motivation to where you want to be if you see something in somebody that you aspire to be.
What would we call that? External benchmarks?
Yes, but I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't hit it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to come down on myself too hard if I don't hit it at this age, at this way, at this rate that she's doing it. Yeah.
And again, because it could not be real too. Like somebody can just post in fake numbers on social and say they made $200,000.
Right, and that would be like the external benchmark.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right, because people could say whatever they want.
And people lie.
Yeah,
people lie
and
bad.
people literally fake documents and put them
Lie
on social
bad.
media. So again,
Lie real bad.
It is what it is. You know, again, having your own aspirations and just using that as motivation for yourself. So I think that's the most healthiest thing to do, to be honest. Like you said, congratulate somebody. Put a heart on it. Put a congrats. Put a with the little whistles with the hats,
and use it as like a representation. Use it as representation for you. It's like
I'm seeing a girl.
I'm seeing somebody do it.
Yeah,
that I admire. I can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And put my own uniqueness and spin on it.
Spin on it. Yeah, absolutely. And then when you do hit your wins and you are accelerating into the progress that you want to, then you just make sure that you are celebrating yourself.
Celebrating those wins, for sure.
Yeah. I feel like this is huge for girls more than anything, because at every stage in life we're fed these comparisons, right? And we're told what we should be doing and where we should be at every stage in our lives, right?
And what this thing should look like.
Yeah. How we should look, how we should behave.
Yes.
Yeah. So don't let this comparison steal your joys. So one thing that would really help is to genuinely like foster relationships that are based on authentic connections. Connect with people that align with where you're going and really where you want to be.
And empower you.
And that empower you. And so you don't necessarily feel like they're achievements you have to compare to, but more that you can celebrate them.
Yes.
And celebrate their journey so that you have something to aspire to.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily see it as like you're not there yet, but you're working towards.
Yeah,
right.
You know?
But also too, somebody who roots for you just as much as you root for them.
Yeah.
It's got to be mutual.
It has to be mutual.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Overall, listen, the only comparison should be the comparison of yourself.
Yeah. And as long as you are better from the day you started to the day you are, and better in all types of way. It doesn't have to be like just any type of way.
Yeah.
As long as you started at one point and you've made it to this point, you're already successful. So just stay on your journey and don't take the blinders off.
Never give up.
And when you get down, track your progress. Look back.
Yeah.
Go on that phone and scroll back.
It's the easiest way
to see how far you've
come up out of that little rut, because we've all come from somewhere,
for sure.
Right? No, that's so true.
Started from the bottom,
if you scroll back, you scroll back on them eyebrows.
Yeah.
You know.
Even just experiencing things. It's like the way something would affect you at one point in your life.
Yes.
And how it affects you now, how you're able to handle it.
Yes.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Listen, I still keep my initial install of iTips in my favorites just so I can go back and see like, dang girl, and you thought you was doing it with that first install.
You couldn't even tell you nothing.
Nothing. I'm like, I got it.
So if you compare yourself to your old self.
Your old self.
You gotta do
it.
Comparison.
If there is a comparison.
It's the old self.
Always a comparison.
Yeah. Old self to the new self. That is the only comparison that should stick out in your head, and that you're making steps to be better every single day in your own way. Better than you.
Amen.
You your only competition.
All right.
Period.
Point blank. All right, you guys. We got it, right?
I think we did it.
Yeah.
Hope you receive it.
Yes.
Because this message was for you and you and you.
Oh, okay, Usher. All right, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to episode 31. We'll see you again for episode 32.
We love you.
Good night. Hey, girls. We hope you enjoyed episode 31 because it'll be our last for a while. In full transparency, while it's been our pleasure discussing the quadrifit theory and building this community with you, as individual business owners, we definitely underestimated the amount of work it takes to put on a full-scale production.
With that said, we're taking this time to reset and deep dive in our own quadrifit journeys so that we can come back better than ever for season 2 in 2024.
So let's get a head start on the new year. We're doing the work. Make sure you are too.
We love you.
Yay! See you in season 2, 2024. Hey girl, thanks for listening. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.